Hi guys, so I'm trying something a little bit different today, and a couple of my clients have asked me if I could actually do their makeup. So I am just going to do a video today of how I do my makeup and some of the ideas that I have. So right now we are in the depths of my boudoir. And as you can see, there are two very big boxes behind me, one being my new wardrobe that needs to be built, and the other my dressing table, which is, yes, for my makeup. So a lot of Christians, they do have a lot to say about makeup. Well, I also have a lot to say about makeup, and one being we have our perfect bodies up in heaven, so why not start here today and better ourselves? And if we are meant to come to the promised land, we need to come in our best versions, have we not? So anyway, I do want to highlight on the fact that I am a believer making the most of your appearance, but it all depends in what heart you carry that in. So we are not to be vain and do things for vanity reasons, but rather, if we want to become better people and artists, why not enhance ourselves? That's my reasoning for that. So I have looked into books myself, and to clarify, this has not been added into the Bible. I wonder why. Because an older version, where it speaks, the Book of Enoch, where it speaks of we were shown things early on in life, like one being how to apply your makeup. So I'm going to get started today. Maybe you can actually watch me and my friend this weekend try and put these two bad boys together. So anyway, let's get on with the makeup tutorial. Okay, so let's get on with this. So what do I use makeup wise? I use the brand called Fit Me, Maybelline. This one is a 101. So I use two tones. This one is the lighter tone and the darker tone is 115. That's Fit Me, Maybelline. It's a very good price. You know, you can get two for one for two. Yeah, anyway. And how to figure out your skin tone, what you do is you use, there's lots of different types of skin tones, okay? And my skin tone has got a little bit more of a yellowy tinge to it. So, which is odd because my skin tone is quite different to my two sisters. I've got more of like a sort of a Chinese yellowy tinge to me. Go very dark in the summer and go very light in the winter. Yes, I am quite unique. So, Fit Me, Maybelline. First, I start off with putting more of the lighter colour, about this amount. I like to do little bits at a time because I feel like you can see what you're working with better. Okay, oh yes, before you do that, you need to put your headband on. So I've got lots of different colours here, but I think I'm going to just go with pink. Just to get all your hair out of your face. Okay, nearly there. So all my hair's out of my face. Then I start from the centre because I've probably put a little bit too much on than I usually would. Then start working out. So there we go. They always say in beauty you should stroke upwards rather than downwards, because this helps to maintain definition on your skin and firmness also. Okay, so keep rubbing that in everywhere. It is so great when you do actually find the skin tone, the skin matching your foundation. It's a great feeling. Sometimes it can take a little bit of trying things out, which can be frustrating for some people, as you don't want to be wasting lots of money. So, you know, the shops, Superdrugs, Boots, they all have those testers there available for you. Do try them out on your hand, and they do have little mirrors there too, so you can always have a go in the mirrors. So just working that through all the way around. Okay, so I have usually, so we know that every colour has lots of colours in it, not just one. So I think where the art comes in is actually knowing the quantities, finding the right mixture and quantities and textures that work for you. I quite like this texture because I feel like it's a nice creamy sort of feeling. Feels like cream on your skin. And I feel like it has quite good coverage, but also I use my fingers on these parts just because I feel like they can sometimes, it can always be more creative and work better. So, okay, once I've done that, close up the darker shade and then a little tab of the lighter shade. This is, I call more like a highlighter as well. Go around the edges here, because there's nothing worse than seeing a line from one colour to your natural tone, which is not nice. Some people do go down the neck as well. I like to just blend it from this point here. Make sure you get around the ears and any other parts that you feel need lightening and highlighting. You can see that I have not really had a great sleep last night. You can see I've got a few bags there. So what you can do as well is just go along that line just to with a lighter colour, which will reduce that too. It's always been confusing where to actually put the highlighter, so it takes time and practice to know where, but hopefully after watching some of these videos you'll get a better idea. So you can see any dark tones in your skin or lines that you want to cover up more. That's where the lighter tone goes. And I feel like I've got enough coverage there, but I'm not quite happy about my bags today. There's nothing I can do about that. I just need to try and get an earlier sleep. Okay, anyway, what's next? Okay, next I always move on to just a very light lip liner. Of course, it depends what lip liner and what colour you use to what you'll be finishing with and what kind of look you're going for. But what it does is it just gives more definition around the lip. Because I think as we get older, we do lose that definition. And those lines do become softer. There we go. So you can see I've got a slight more definition there. I'm going for like, I think I'm going to go for something a little bit more drastic today, just to show, sorry about my squeaky chair, just so you can really see it in the camera. Now I am going to move on to my favourite thing, which is the eyes. So, sort of squeaking chair. Let me find my, okay, so I've got this cute little bag where I keep all of my brushes, my lip liners, and all the things that can get lost, which I quite like. Start with a very thin brush, okay? I'm gonna start from the top of my eye. So, deciding on a colour. Well, what I'm wearing today is pretty, I mean, I never shy away from too much patterns. There was a time where I did, but thank God I've broken free from that. So, I think I quite like the gold, and I know coppers are really in at the moment. And you know, I've seen a lot of celebs wearing these beautiful pink tones, and although the pink tones are fantastic, it doesn't quite go with my skin colouring. So I'm going to stick with the gold and the coppers today, and I might mix some other colours in as well. We'll see what happens. So let's get straight in there with the gold, and this is, it's called Nudes of New York, Maybelline New York. So there we go. I'm gonna try, my main goal and outcome is just for my eyes to really stand out today. And because I'm going to be going for a heavier look on my eyes, I think I'm going to have a lighter lip. But like I say, to a lot of things in life, I think try and steer away from the rules and just do what you feel. Just go with the flow. Okay, because I absolutely love this gold. I mean, you can see the shimmer on this gold, but I want it to stand out a little bit more for the camera. So I'm just going to go over the top there. Just tap it, because I know a lot of powder can steer off that. I'm just going to, just so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. And I'm going around the edges of where my eyelid dips. You can see. Now, makeup can be quite complex because we are not symmetrical beings, and one side can be quite, one eye, an eyebrow, can be different to the other, and actually most people's are. So that means we need to work a little bit differently in order to have a good finish. So you can see now that the gold reflecting off of the copper, and it works quite nicely actually. But now I am going to go in with less of a shimmery colour and more of like a matte powder. This one is called Self Starter. So this is a very good starting thing, but sometimes I do things the other way around. So first find the corner of your lid. This bit is quite important to get right, and I just stroke upwards like that, just to get a gradual fade, and then do the same on the other eyelid. And because my eyes are not completely symmetrical, I am going to stroke up slightly different on this side. But as soon as you've got the nice line there, you can, that's what's so nice about you using your fingers too, is you can do a nice smudge, and it does blend quite nicely. I always join this part with the actual top of the eyelid. Well, you can see a gradual, more of like a cat shape appearing now compared to that side. Now, so go to the top, and I'm going to connect this to this part of the eye. There we go. And I'm going to go in with some highlighter cream tone, and I think I'm going to put a little bit there just to give a bit more of a dramatic appearance. And then on the other side here, working it down. Now, a lot of people do change their brushes for each colour. I don't like doing that because I quite like when the colours kind of merge together, and I think you can get a better end result using just one brush. I mean, eventually these colours do dry in anyway, so yeah, I'm a firm believer in using one brush or two. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to use, if I can find it, okay, underneath the eye I'm going to go for a little bit more of a dramatic, like dark pink. I think like it's like a mauve, sort of reddy pinky colour. There we go. Go under the eyelid, but the trick is not to go too low with this. If you can so you can see this side I've gone very low, this side I haven't. I've kind of just sat there on just that first corner of the lid there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smudge this just a little bit so it can match the other side a bit better. There we go. Now I feel like you never truly see all the great results until right at the end. To me, you can't quite see in the camera, but I will take pictures and photos after and just change where try and find some better lighting so you can see this. But I think I'm going to do something a little bit more dramatic because I feel like a change today. So as you can see, I have used Ultimate Glow Shot. It's I think it's called NYX, and it's like a little bit more of a glittery vibe there. So this side I think is perfect. This side, let's just use the smudging technique. There we go, that seems to have done the job. And if I go just a little bit darker in this corner, just to match the other side. There we go. And then let's join this side, that side. I always say when you start these things, do not give up. That's what art is. I always say to my children, when you start a picture, if you feel like you made a mistake, just start creating and changing that, implement it into your final piece. Don't give up, because you can never see it all come together till right the end. So now we know that this look, using all that powder and parts will fall. So I just go around my lid with the lighter colour always, because that's the highlighter, remember, and just so it just gets rid of all those bits. Try as much as you can not to, by tilting your head back and doing your makeup, generally that will stop most of the powder from falling, but just to catch those few bits that have, there we go. Okay, now the next part, I think I'm going to do lashes next, but before I do that I just want to blend this part in slightly more. So using my finger, blend, 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 so you've got a gradual come down, and then on this side do the same, but you might have to do it a little different if your eye shapes are different. As you can see, this eye is slightly bigger than this eye, but I notice details like that. Now in with the mascara, because it's never truly a finished eye without the mascara. I mean, I do agree some looks look quite good actually without mascara, so but this particular look needs a mascara. So in you go, right from the root of the eyelash, and as slow as you can, brushing it up. Because I prefer a more catty look rather than a round eye, I tend to have longer lashes. I focus more on this side, and then so I have it slightly more clumpier on this side, and then gradually lighter as it gets to the center. I think the slower you can do this, the better, but if you're anything like me, sometimes I go through seasons of being a bit impatient. It depends what mentality I am in the day. So I think that's why I think it's always great just to, you know, there are so many different looks that look good, and I think it's so easy just to attach yourself to one look. But that's not creativity. Creativity is changing it up, doing something new, taking a risk. So a bit more clumpy on this side, going to a little bit lighter to the center. Try to separate it out. I think the slower you go, the nicer it looks. Okay, so I've noticed I have got a little bit of a dot there, so I'm gonna try it, just do that, and then I'll use a little bit more foundation on that part once I've finished. So you can see already it's starting to come together. For the camera, I do think we still need a little bit more. So, and you all know that you can't really take a nice picture without makeup on, even men as well. That's why on films, in media, online, when you've got professionals and a set there, makeup has to be applied, even if you're not really a makeup lover, and even if you're a man. But who's to say men can't wear makeup? Okay, anyway, next, to kind of highlight and bring out the eyes more, sometimes it's good to frame them, just like a picture. If you see like an art piece, sometimes a canvas on its own is wonderful, but a picture on its own needs a frame, and that frame just highlights it all. So see your eyebrows as a frame to your eye itself. So what I use, because over many years of plucking my eyebrows wrong, because we all know the 80s look of thin eyebrows is gone, this is my best friend. This is my best friend, and one side is the wax, the other side is the powder, and you can see I'm really running out here. But I'm not so good with change with some things if something works really well. So I'm finding it hard to find this colour actually. It's like a sort of a grey, browny colour, which I really love, and it works really good for my type of eyebrow. Okay, let me try and explain this first. First, the wax. See, I haven't got much left there, but apply on the wax into all those areas that you have probably messed up over the years of plucking. So now, if you feel like your eyebrows are too thin or gappy, not defined enough, or too defined, or whatever it is you're feeling, this does the magic job. So I am actually, just so you can actually see the camera, I'm going to go a lot darker on this section here, just to give it more of a definition in there. You can see already my eyebrows thickening. And what I love about using the powder and the wax is it gives so much more of a subtle, natural look, whereas people do use eyebrow liners, but I think this is very visible and showable, especially when you go outside. So there you can see the definition is already there straight away. Go with your natural structure. Now everyone has different eyebrow structure. I can see everyone is trying to copy the models these days with the big fluffy eyebrows. I mean, yeah, cool, I'm all for that, but if your eyebrow structure is not made that way, you know, don't force it. What God has given you is beautiful. All you do is work with it. So I have got a thinner, smaller framed eyebrow structure. That's what I've got, and I've learned to love it and embrace it. And all I can do to amplify and to enhance that is to fill in and rectify all of my years of mistakes from plugging. So here we go. I'm just going to go in with that wax and the powder to define that shape. You can see already how much more defined that is. And I am applying a little bit more than I usually would, just so you can see in the camera. So you can see here as well, here is a little bit too round. So I'm just going to straighten out this part here, just to give a nicer shape. I'm not all for completely symmetrical, and just rub it in there. I do need to change the lighting here because I don't think it shows up exactly what I'm doing. So I will take some pictures and edit that so you can see at the end what difference it makes. Now, so you've seen me do the lighter lip liner, which defines the lips. I'm going to go in for a bit of a darker for the camera. Great way to practice this, even doing artwork as sketch pad and things like that. because it will all help steady your hand. I mean, I've got a level 1 in beauty, so I have worked with this. Here we go. And then what's taken me the longest to kind of get grips of and is probably lips, I would say. How much to apply, how much not to apply, and sometimes you don't want it to look obvious as well, so you want to blend it in. There we go. I just use my finger to blend slightly, and I will go in with a lipstick. I have been really experimenting lately with my lipsticks, not just using one colour. I'm literally just going to do the centre there because I feel like it. And where is my, I've got lots of different, I absolutely loving, no that's not it, I am absolutely loving the liquid blush lately. What do you think of the liquid blush? It's just such a nicer blend and you get a nice glow on your skin as well. So if you can use a liquid blush, that is fantastic. There's also this one, this is the roll on. It's still quite a pasty shine glow to that as well, which is very nice. And the powder is what most people these days use, but when I discovered the liquids, I was like, whoa, this is so giving me the effect I was looking for. So I can't actually find, I had oh, there it is. So this is this is so cheap. It's called the Glow Bright Blush Blonde 17. I can't remember exactly how much it is, I have to look into that. But as you can see, it's got like a little cute little pad thing there. Yes, might need to clean around that. Usually Grace does actually organise my makeup stuff for me. She's just got such a gift of organising, which I do not. And it's amazing how you can see it in your kids so young. So I'll have to get her to come and organise my makeup kit. And yeah, so I'm going to use the red. Shall I use the red? I did have a really nice pink one as well. I'm not sure where that's gone. It is here somewhere. Okay, well, anyway, I'll show you that another time, but this is the red. So what you do, you squeeze it, you open it, and then you'll see it come to the surface there. You blot it on like this, and then go around, see your bone structure there. Just work with it. You want to highlight these key features. Work with it. Yeah, if I look a little bit mad right now, trust me, it will come together. Okay, I always feel like one side, maybe it's the way the light is hitting it. Don't worry, I'm not going to go out like this, but this is the next stage. You rub it in, but don't rub too much, because remember, you've got all that beautiful foundation on underneath. So just dab it like that, like so. Like I said, I'm applying a lot more than I normally would, just so you can visibly see it in the camera. And then you can see there's lots of different ways you can do this. So I've gone this way around. You can also go this way. You can start from here and just end there. It all gives lots of different appearances there. Okay, I should really finish my lips. What I usually do is I usually use what I've used for my blusher to finish off my lips. And I feel like it gives such great, beautiful depth and a beautiful blend as well. So you can see the two tones, what effect that gives. And it's just absolutely subtle and beautiful. Those little details make all the difference, my friends. So next, what is next? What is next? So you can see I've done that, I'm happy with my eyes, how they're looking. You can't see it completely in the camera, but I'm now just going to, because I haven't got a lot of time left, because I do need to go out now to look for some paint for this bedroom, which is my sacred place, my bedroom, and it's mine, all mine. So I'm now using Sensitive Hop Scalp Serum, which smells divine. I'm just going to put this on my scalp because I have had a little bit of a dry scalp lately. And this will also help my hair to grow so much nicer. And I just love the feeling of it. It's like a fresh feeling. It's like it feels like your scalp is like breathing. It's so good. And then just massage it in slightly like that. Okay. And then it just helps to separate your hair a little bit more. I'm so happy with this new Hop range with the shampoos I'm using. My hair has thickened up so much, as you can see. So now what to do with my hair? Do I just leave like this? To be honest, I've spent so much time on my makeup. I'm not sure I really want to do much with my hair. So I might just, I always go to the hairband. I think that's pretty cool. So let's just see if it works. Let's leave two little cute bits out like that. And then voila, we are done for the day. So let me know what you think. Like I say, I don't usually wear this much makeup, but I do think it's quite nice. And you can see that here, this side is a little bit slightly more blended in. So I'm just going to do that. The same thing with that side, like that. And then there we go. And then we're more matched now. So this is the final look. Tell me what you think. Do you think it's cute? Do you think it's a bit over the top? What do you think of the two tones in the lips? And do you feel like it's a big before and I mean it's a big difference really, right? I mean I do look like a completely different person now, and especially the fact that I'm putting this camera up to the light, I look like an even more of a different person. So anyway, I just thought it'd be fun just to show you just a quick little recap of some of the things that I do. Yeah, and hopefully soon I can get to do another one of these on my actual dressing table when it's finally built. Anyway, take care, God bless, and have a good day.